just tenderness, but truth, not just longing, but balance. So breathe once more. Inhale care, exhale readiness, and step forward, carrying the safety you have built here into the next hour of your healing. Every one of us was shaped by the care we received and the care we did not. For some, childhood was filled with nurture, attentive listening, gentle correction. For others, it was marked by absence, harsh words, needs unmet. Reparenting is the work of offering yourself now what you did not receive then. It is not about blaming your parents forever. It is about acknowledging the truth that some parts of you were left hungry for safety, for kindness, for validation, and those parts still live within you. When you snap at yourself in shame, when you ignore your exhaustion, when you silence your tears, that inner child feels abandoned all over again. But when you pause to listen, when you say, "It's all right, I hear you," when you offer care instead of criticism, you become the parent, that younger you always needed. This is reparenting, choosing to give yourself now the love, the patience, the guidance you once longed for. Reparenting begins with recognition. You cannot tend to what you refuse to see. So take a moment now. Close your eyes if you wish. Bring to mind an age when you felt unseen. Maybe as a small child, crying quietly in your room. Maybe as a teenager, misunderstood, dismissed, told to get over it. Picture that younger you. Notice their face, their posture, their need. Now, as the adult you are today, breathe deeply and imagine kneeling beside them. You don't need the perfect words. You don't need to solve every problem. You only need to acknowledge, "I see you. I will not leave you." This recognition is powerful because once the child within feels seen, healing becomes possible. It may feel tender. It may bring tears. That is all right. It means you are opening the door. And every time you choose recognition over neglect, you begin to rewrite the story. You begin to offer yourself the presence that was missing before. This is the beginning of reparenting, and it begins not with perfection, but with seeing. When you were young, soothing may have come easily. A parent's hug, a gentle voice, a hand holding yours in the dark. Or perhaps it did not. Perhaps comfort was scarce, and you learned to silence your needs rather than risk disappointment. Either way, the need for soothing never disappears. It is wired into the nervous system. And as an adult, you have the power to provide that comfort for yourself. Soothing looks like slowing down when everything in you says, "Hurry." It looks like wrapping yourself in a blanket when your body feels small. It looks like speaking to yourself gently, not as a critic, but as a caretaker. Comfort does not erase pain, but it makes pain bearable. It creates a safe container where healing can unfold instead of overwhelm taking over. When you soothe yourself, you tell the younger you inside, you are safe now, you are cared for, you will not be abandoned again. Let us practice together. Place one hand on your chest. Feel the rise and fall beneath your palm. Take a slow inhale. Whisper softly to yourself, either aloud or in your heart, "It's all right." Exhale gently. Whisper, "I am here." Repeat this rhythm. Inhale, "It's all right." Exhale, "I am here." Notice the subtle shifts, perhaps a softening in your shoulders, a loosening in your jaw, a sense that the younger you is listening. This may feel awkward at first, unfamiliar, even tender to the point of tears. That is part of the healing, because what was once missing is now arriving. Each time you offer this comfort, you strengthen the bond between your adult self and the child within. Self-soothing is not childish. It is essential. It is the foundation of safety. And from safety, every other step of reparenting becomes possible. For many of us, the loudest voice inside is not gentle. It is sharp, demanding, quick to judge. You should know better. You're too much. You'll never get it right. This voice often echoes the tone we once received, a teacher's scolding, a parent's impatience, a caregiver's dismissal. And over time, it becomes the script we repeat to ourselves. But hear me clearly, that critic is not truth. It is a recording. It is the residue of old voices that did not know how to nurture. And just as you once absorbed that script, you can now rewrite it. Because your inner child does not need more criticism. Your inner child needs gentleness, needs a voice that says, "You are learning. You are loved. You are enough, even here." Let's begin together. Close your eyes if you wish. Picture the younger you, the one we visited earlier. Notice their face, perhaps anxious, perhaps weary, perhaps waiting for kindness. Now breathe in slowly, and as you exhale, speak softly to them. "You're safe with me." Inhale again. Exhale with the words, "You don't have to be perfect." One more time. Inhale presence. Exhale gently. "I will not abandon you." Notice how it feels to speak in this way. Perhaps awkward, perhaps tender, perhaps like a part of you is listening with relief. This is the practice of reparenting, not to erase the old critic in a day, but to offer an alternative voice, a gentle one, a steady one. And over time, the child within learns This is how I deserve to be spoken to. Gentleness is not weakness. It is repair. It is how you build a new foundation for your relationship with yourself. So keep practicing. Each gentle word is a thread of healing woven into your inner dialogue. As children, many of us were not taught that boundaries are love. Sometimes our limits were ignored. Sometimes we were punished for trying to say no. Sometimes we were asked to carry responsibilities far beyond our years. And so, as adults, we may confuse boundaries with rejection. We fear that saying no will cost us connection. We believe that drawing a line makes us unkind. But hear me clearly. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are care. When you set a boundary, you tell your inner child, I will protect you. I will not let others take what leaves you empty. I will not abandon you to win approval. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about choosing connection that does not require self-betrayal. This is reparenting, learning to protect the vulnerable parts of you with the firmness you always deserved. Let's try this together. Think of one place in your life where you often feel overextended, perhaps with a friend who asks too much, perhaps at work where you say yes to everything, perhaps in your family where silence has felt safer than truth. Bring that situation to mind. Notice how your body feels. Tight, tired, heavy. Now breathe and imagine speaking with calm firmness. This is my limit. It may sound like, I can't do that today. I need to rest now. I'm not able to continue this conversation. Notice the shift inside as you imagine it. Relief, fear, a trembling in your chest. That trembling is growth. Because each time you set a boundary, you reassure the younger you within. I am your protector now. Over time, your body learns that safety does not come from people-pleasing. Safety comes from standing gently but firmly on the ground of your worth. Boundaries are not punishment. They are protection, and your inner child has waited a long time to feel that protection from you. Many of us learned early that love had conditions. We were celebrated when we excelled. We were praised when we pleased. We were noticed when we performed. But when we faltered, when we struggled, when we needed too much, the love grew quiet. And so we internalized a rule. I am lovable only if I am good enough. That rule follows us into adulthood. We overwork to prove our worth. We people please to keep affection. We hide our struggles, fearing that need will cost us love. But hear me clearly. Love is not meant to be earned. Love is the birthright of being human. Your inner child does not need another condition. They need to know they are cherished simply for existing. This is the heart of reparenting, to look within and say, you are worthy of love, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Let us practice together. Close your eyes if you wish. Picture the younger you once more, not performing, not achieving, just being. See them as they are, messy, imperfect, perhaps even tearful. Now breathe in deeply, as though you are gathering warmth. Exhale softly, and whisper to that child, you are loved. Again, inhale warmth. Exhale with the words, you are enough. And once more, inhale presence. Exhale with the words, you are mine, and I will not abandon you. Notice the shift that comes when you say these words sincerely. Perhaps resistance rises, but I must do more. That is the old script. Repeat anyway, because love that is unconditional is not about deserving. It is about being. Every time you practice this, you are repairing the message your inner child once received. You are rewriting the story from I must earn love to I am loved already. This is not sentimentality. It is survival. Because only when love is secure can growth be safe, and only when love is unconditional can you rest in your own skin without fear of rejection. So let this truth take root. You are loved, before achievement, beneath the flaws, beyond performance, simply because you are here. When we imagine healing, we often picture dramatic moments, the tearful breakthrough, the life-changing revelation, the one conversation that rewrites everything. But the truth is, healing lives mostly in the ordinary. In the glass of water you remember to drink, in the bedtime you honor, in the meal you prepare with care instead of rushing through. These small rituals, repeated day after day, are how you tell your inner child, I will care for you consistently. Consistency is what turns promises into trust. And for the parts of you that once felt abandoned, it is not grand gestures that bring safety. It is the daily proof you will not be forgotten again. So reparenting begins with the simple, with tending to your body, your rest, your nourishment, because the child within you is watching, waiting to see if you will show up this time. Let us practice imagining what this could look like. Think of one daily ritual that would signal care to your younger self. Perhaps it is making your bed so the child within feels order. Perhaps it is taking 10 quiet minutes so they feel heard. Perhaps it is preparing a favorite food, not as indulgence, but as a gesture of delight. You are worth the effort. Now breathe in deeply and picture yourself offering that ritual with intention. Exhale slowly and notice how it feels to imagine your inner child receiving it. This is the power of repetition, not perfection, not never missing a step, but showing up enough that the message sinks in. You are safe with me. You are not forgotten. I will meet your needs. Healing is not a single event. It is a daily rhythm of care. And as you practice these rituals, you are not simply living your day. You are rewriting your story. One small act at a time, you are proving the child within you is no longer alone. Shame often lingers like a shadow, quiet, heavy, always close at hand. It tells you that you are wrong, not just that you made a mistake. It whispers that you are unlovable, unworthy, broken beyond repair. And often, this shame is not yours by birth. It was handed to you through harsh words, through neglect, through punishments that taught you your very being was too much. Shame thrives in silence. It grows strongest when left unnamed. But here is the truth. Shame is a shadow, not the truth of who you are. A shadow feels real, but it has no substance. It cannot define you. It can only follow unless you turn to meet it. Reparenting means facing that shadow and saying to the child within, you were never the problem. You never deserved the weight you carried. Let us practice now. Bring to mind a moment where shame tends to rise. Perhaps a mistake at work. Perhaps a memory of being scolded. Perhaps something you hide because you fear judgment. Notice how it feels in your body. The tightening, the heat, the urge to shrink. Now breathe in slowly. And with that breath, imagine gathering dignity into your chest. Exhale gently. Release the shame that never belonged to you. Again, inhale worth. Exhale shame. Whisper softly if you can. I am not the shame I carry. I am worthy of love. Repeat until the body softens, until the shadow feels smaller, until the inner child senses that the truth has returned. This is not a one-time practice. Shame may revisit, as shadows do, but every time you meet it with breath, with compassion, with the reminder of your worth, you teach yourself again, I was never broken. I was always enough. And slowly, the shadow loses power, and your worth takes its rightful place at the center. For so long, you may have waited for someone else to arrive, to finally see you, to finally protect you, to finally love you without conditions. And perhaps people have tried, but no one can fill that role completely. Not a partner, not a friend, not even a mentor. Because the deepest healing comes when you learn to become that parent for yourself. to step into the role of steady guide, to become the safe lap the child within can climb into, to speak words of comfort and wisdom you once longed to hear. This is not about replacing your parents. It is about reclaiming the power to give yourself now what you once needed then. And as you step into that role, you begin to heal the old ache, the waiting, the longing, the hunger for someone else to fix it. Because now you know the parent you always needed lives within you. Let us practice. Close your eyes if you wish. Picture the younger you once more. Perhaps they are scared, lonely, or yearning for reassurance. Now, imagine yourself walking toward them, not as the critic, not as the adult weighed with stress, but as the parent you needed. See yourself kneel. Offer them your hand. Tell them softly, I am here now. I will care for you. I will protect you. Notice how it feels to say these words aloud or even silently. Perhaps there is hesitation. Perhaps the child within does not trust yet. That is natural. Trust builds with time. Return to the practice again and again. Each repetition weaves safety into the bond. Each moment of reassurance teaches your inner child a new story. This time, I am not alone. This time, I am cared for. To reparent yourself is to become the one who shows up faithfully. Not perfectly, but consistently. And that consistency is what transforms longing into belonging. This is your work, and it is sacred, because you are not only healing yourself, you are ending the cycle. You are showing the next generation and every part of you within that love can be safe and that protection can be trusted. For so long, you may have waited for someone else to arrive, to finally see you, to finally protect you, to finally love you without conditions. And perhaps people have tried, but no one can fill that role completely. Not a partner, not a friend, not even a mentor. Because the deepest healing comes when you learn to become that parent for yourself. To step into the role of steady guide, to become the safe lap the child within can climb into, to speak words of comfort and wisdom you once longed to hear. This is not about replacing your parents. It is about reclaiming the power to give yourself now what you once needed then. And as you step into that role, you begin to heal the old ache, the waiting, the longing, the hunger for someone else to fix it. Because now you know the parent you always needed lives within you. Let us practice. Close your eyes if you wish. Picture the younger you once more. Perhaps they are scared, lonely, or yearning for reassurance. Now, imagine yourself walking toward them, not as the critic, not as the adult weighed with stress, but as the parent you needed. See yourself kneel. Offer them your hand. Tell them softly, I am here now. I will care for you. I will protect you. Notice how it feels to say these words aloud or even silently. Perhaps there is hesitation. Perhaps the child within does not trust yet. That is natural. Trust builds with time. Return to the practice again and again. Each repetition weaves safety into the bond. Each moment of reassurance teaches your inner child a new story. This time, I am not alone. This time, I am cared for. To reparent yourself is to become the one who shows up faithfully. Not perfectly, but consistently. And that consistency is what transforms longing into belonging. This is your work, and it is sacred, because you are not only healing yourself, you are ending the cycle. You are showing the next generation and every part of you within that love can be safe and that protection can be trusted. As we close this hour, remember this. Reparenting is not a task to finish. It is a circle you walk again and again. Each day you choose gentleness instead of criticism. Each time you set a boundary instead of collapsing. Each moment you soothe yourself instead of abandoning yourself. You are reparenting. And slowly, those small choices accumulate. The child within begins to trust. The shame loosens. The self-doubt softens. This work does not erase the past. It reshapes the present. It tells your story differently. Reparenting is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming present, faithful, safe, for yourself. And that safety, practiced daily, becomes the soil in which every other part of your life can grow strong. Take a deep inhale with me. Fill the lungs with presence. Exhale slowly. Release what no longer serves. Place your hand on your heart if you wish. Whisper softly, I will care for you. I will not leave you. Carry that vow forward, because it is not spoken once. It is lived, moment by moment. And now, as we complete this circle, you are not left alone. The journey continues. At 5 p.m., Dion Chase will join you, where I have guided you inward to nurture and protect your inner child. Dion will help you turn outward, to face relationships with realism, with clarity, with